The Chiefs just wrapped up the NFL Draft 2025, and they knocked it out of the park. We're going to talk about our favorite picks, plus take a look at some UDFAs the Chiefs have signed. Welcome back to All Chiefed Up. We're back with another video, so let's freaking go.
If you enjoy the content, be sure to like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 50,000 subscribers, so help your boys out. And if you don't want to, we're not twisting your arm.
You're listening to All Chiefed Up.
The NFL Draft's in the books, Steve, and Brett Veach and the Chiefs knocked it out of the park. I was super impressed at Josh Simmons and trading back, getting the 5th round pick. I was actually impressed by getting Omar Norman-Lott in the 2nd round, although that was a divisive pick. Steve, there were so many to talk about. What was your favorite pick Brett Veach and the Chiefs managed to pull off?
So I think you have to start right there in round 1 with the Josh Simmons pick. Everybody has wanted some sort of a left tackle in the draft for the last few years now. They've wanted one in free agency. The only one we've been able to sign is Jalen Moore this last offseason. So now we're looking at a potential position battle this offseason between those two. I don't know if Simmons will be healthy enough to start at left tackle at the beginning of the season, but it's definitely going to be something they look at. I think Andy Reid and Brett Veach even both said that he should be ready to go by camp. So it's going to be interesting to watch. I think that one was probably the one that satisfied Chiefs fans the most. Also, Omar Norman-Lott is an intriguing pick. Just anyone that can help bring pass rush to the table is more than welcome in Kansas City. We've had trouble with that for the last few years, where all of that production has just been coming from Chris Jones and George Karlaftis. Now we got a guy that could come in here and potentially be in the backfield consistently, along with the 3rd round pick, Ashton Gelati. He's a freak athlete, my man. He can get after the quarterback, and he's got a high ceiling. So if they can ever get him to where he needs to be, I think the Chiefs really shored up that defensive line, and it's pretty cool. Also, Noah Williams, Jalen Royals, those picks were super exciting. And then, of course, Brashard Smith at the end of the draft really got people horned up as well.
Omar Norman-Lott seemed to be kind of divisive, but I think Jalen Royals was one across the board that Chiefs Kingdom really loved. They were wanting to see us maybe even trade up to get him off the board when he started falling there. There was some injury concerns, but the Chiefs didn't really care about injury concerns in this draft. That was the theme of it. And then when you look at the 7th round, they got Brashard Smith. I think that was a fan favorite too because he is so fast. He ran like a 4.38, 4.39. He's super fast. He can chunk off big runs, man. He brings that big-time playmaking ability to the backfield, and a lot of Chiefs Kingdom really wanted them to invest earlier in a running back, but I think they're content with the 7th round pick in Brashard Smith because of all of his intangibles and how he will fit into this offense.
So I think the most popular pick across the board, besides the Josh Simmons pick, was definitely the wide receiver from Utah State, Jalen Royals. The most unpopular pick, probably round 5 when they traded up for Jeffrey Bossa, the linebacker from Oregon. That one had a lot of people scratching their heads and they didn't quite understand it. But here's something I want people to understand, Mike. I think that Jalen Royals, as much as I like him and as good as he can be, don't expect to see a lot of production from him his rookie season. The Chiefs already have Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice, Hollywood Brown, and Juju Smith-Schuster as their top 4 wide receivers. So it's probably likely he won't get much playing time. His biggest impact might come from special teams, returning kicks, something of that nature. But it would be cool to see him get integrated into the offense early and often. I just don't know if we're going to see that. And then as far as Jeffrey Bossa goes, I think this was definitely a depth pick. Also someone that can help out on special teams.
Yeah, here as of late, Andy Reid has incorporated rookie wide receivers a little bit more than he has in years past. So I could see Jalen Royals maybe becoming a bigger feature if there were to be an injury or a suspension to Rashee Rice again. Anything like that, I could see Jalen Royals maybe being able to take off and do something this year. The one guy we haven't really talked about, Steve, Noah Williams. He's a shutdown corner, man. He's a ball hawk. He's got a little Marcus Peters in him, to be honest. We've not really had a ball hawk kind of corner like that in a little while. So I'm excited to see Noah Williams teaming up with Christian Fulton. Maybe slide Trent McDuffie back down in that nickel situation, man. And I think our DBs look really solid.
Yeah, so the Chiefs already have Trent McDuffie. They just signed Christian Fulton. Of course, I think that Noah Williams kind of gets in the mix somewhere around Jalen Watson and Joshua Williams. We'll see how this all plays out. If he could come out hot, maybe he could earn a spot on the team, get some playing time. Otherwise, this might be another special teams contributor for the first year. We'll just have to wait and see.
You guys get down in the comments. Let us know what your favorite pick was. Steve, the picks are over. They're done. Let's talk about some UDFAs Brett Veach and the Chiefs were able to bring in. Here's a list. We've got Damian Alford from Utah, wide receiver, tight end Jared Casey, DB Johnny Carter, DB Melvin Smith Jr., wide receiver Dante Wright and Jacoby Covington, Eddie Zablicki, Glendon Miller, tight end Trey Watson, running back Kalon Jones. Then we also have Mac Dalena, Brandon George, Kevin Knowles II, Keziah Izzard, Dalton Cooper, Will Brooks, Jake Briningstool, Elijah Badger from Florida, Elijah Young from Western Kentucky, Jason Collier, and an offensive tackle out of Washington State named Esa Poe. Steve, this was a very good UDFA class. The Chiefs have actually spoke to some of them. We actually hit a few picks during the draft. We called Jalen Royals, and we also called Omar Norman Lott. When it comes to UDFA, Steve, there was a corner on the board that you called out, Melvin Smith Jr. Talk about him a little bit.
Yeah, so I actually had the Chiefs taking this guy in the 7th round, but it makes sense if he was going to fall out just to sign him as a UDFA. He's a bit undersized, right? He's 5'10", 185. But when you put on the tape, he plays at such a high speed, you automatically sit up and start to pay attention. He plays with really great instincts, twitchy burst, makes all kinds of plays on the football. He posted 26 breakups and 9 interceptions since 2023, so he's definitely got some production behind him. He was able to dominate his competition on 50-50 throws, so if there's any kind of contested catches, I think that Melvin Smith Jr. breaks those up 99% of the time, it seemed like, on his college tape. Also, he possesses necessary athletic ability to compete in man coverage, and maybe the best thing about him is he's going to contribute to special teams. He's a kick returner. He actually kick returned 1 touchdown for 99 yards in 2024, so Dave Toub's going to love it.
Yeah, Melvin Smith is a pretty good addition to bring into rookie camp. We'll see how he translates over in that DB room, Steve. I really liked a guy that we had mocked to the Chiefs in the 7th round, and we actually got him as a UDFA as well, and that's Brandon George. He's a linebacker out of Pittsburgh, Steve. He had 29 solo tackles, 2 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, and an interception in 2024. And what you're going to notice about him is his RAS score was off the chart, Steve. It was a 9.98 out of 10. He managed to run a 40-yard dash, a 20-yard split, a 10-yard split, and some of the best times you will ever see. He actually tore up Pitt's pro day. He ran a super fast 40, a super quick 20-yard split, and a 10-yard split. That's really good for a linebacker. He's going to be pretty good in coverage. That's one thing he's going to do. He started 13 games at middle linebacker for Pitt this year, and he was selected as their team captain. 80 tackles, 5.5 for loss, and 2 sacks. He can get after it. What I like about him, Steve, is he kind of gives you another middle linebacker you can look at, or a guy that can get out on the edge in the vein of a Leo Chanel, actually, or maybe even our boy Swayze Bozeman from last year. He had 6 stops in a game versus the Tar Heels, and he logged 2 times this year a career-high 11 tackles. That was against Cal and Toledo in the Sports Bowl, the game above Sports Bowl at the end of the season. So he was actually there. Steve, he had a highlight reel fingertip interception against Syracuse that I actually posted on X. Get over there and watch that. It was insane. I think the kid's going to be decent. I think he's going to be a contributor, and I think he's probably a dark horse to make this team, or at least make the practice squad.
So Brandon George tested so high athletically, you knew the Chiefs were going to have their eye on him. They met with him a couple of times, and we knew that they liked him. We actually mocked him to the Chiefs in the 7th round as well. They just so happened to trade away most of those picks, except for the one that they took with Richard Smith at the end.
Oh yeah, right off the rip, I'm getting that leather and tobacco vibe and that bourbon vanilla. This stuff right here, straight fire, baby. You work hard, you play hard, and we know Chiefs Kingdom cheers hard. And when you do that, it's obvious you work up a little stank. I mean, come on, we're stinky humans who survive on barbecue and Patrick Mahomes highlights. But you don't always want to be at musty level 10. We don't. We're trying to smell nice. And for us, it's this right here, Mando, baby. You wake up, you shower, you start your day, but eventually you start to get a little, ripe. You catch a whiff and you just pray nobody else is offended by your stank bubble. You don't have to walk around smelling like Bigfoot's. Grab yourself some Mando full body deodorant or some Mando whole body deodorant spray. They even have whole body deodorant cream. You have no reason to stink. We absolutely love Mando, and that's why we partnered with them to bring their goodness to you. Look, we're super big into fragrances and colognes, and this stuff smells fantastic. This is bourbon leather, and it smells incredible. There's so many reasons to love it. It's safe to use for your pits, to your balls, to your big old disgusting filthy feet. It was created by an actual doctor who wanted to stop the misdiagnosis and mistreatment of odors. Mando is clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor for up to 72 hours. And no, that doesn't mean you can be a degenerate piece of and not shower for real. It helps with odor. It doesn't perform miracles. There's 4 scents. This bourbon leather here is fantastic. They also have Clover Woods, Mount Fuji, and Pro Sport scent. So do you want to try America's #1 whole body deodorant formula? Of course you do. You can find them at Walmart, Target, and other retailers across the country. But for the best deals, go to shopmando.com. You can pick up a Mando starter pack. It's absolutely perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like a mini body wash or deodorant wipes, and you get free shipping. Free shipping is huge. I've been known not to order $100 worth of stuff because I didn't want to pay $10 for shipping. But this is what I want to offer to the ACU crew because you guys are special. New customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% of your starter pack when using our code ACU to shopmando.com. That's SHOPMANDO.com. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. And if you don't love it, they'll give you a full refund up to 60 days later. That's how confident Mando is that your balls won't stink. Go to shopmando.com and use code ACU to get 40% and free shipping off your Mando starter pack. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence head to toe with Mando.
So let's talk about another position. A lot of people thought the Chiefs were going to target a tight end in this draft, especially with Kelsey coming up on the end of his career. But they didn't go for a Harold Fannin Jr. or Jalen Conyers or someone like that we thought they would be interested in. They didn't draft one at all, actually. But they did sign one as a UDFA, and that was Jake Briningstool from Clemson. This kid's 6'6", 241 pounds. He's not the craziest athlete in the world. He only ran a 4.7, 5.40, 1.6 10-yard split. But Briningstool is a very intriguing prospect just off production alone. In 2023, he was third-team All-ACC. He led the team with 5 receiving touchdowns, and he played in all 13 games, with 12 of those being a starter. And then in 2024, he actually set a school record for career receptions for a tight end with 127, and he had 7 touchdowns that year as well. His father, Tony, played linebacker at Michigan State. This kid was projected to be a 5th or 6th round pick. He just so happened to fall completely out of the draft. But he is quick to settle and open up into the belly of his own defense. He can find those soft spots. He has good ball skills. He can handle tough possessions. He has strong hands, brings the ball in quickly, and he doesn't drop a lot. He lands with a pop, and he has good tenacity and base blocks as well. So I think Jake Briningstool could be a guy that could be on the practice squad, or he might even make the team as a tight end. We'll just have to see how it shakes out.
Yeah, he's a developmental depth player kind of guy. He could become a big-time slot wide receiver 3 type if he gets his route running a little bit more nuanced and better. I actually think he's kind of a poor man's Colston Loveland, to be honest. He's more of a receiving guy than he is a blocking, old-school inline tight end. At 6'6", 240, he's big. He's got pretty good hands, man, and he's a smooth mover for his size, so I really like him. I like Dalena out of Fresno, Steve. He's a wide receiver. He's a little guy, 5'11", 180, but dude, he's everything that the Chiefs look for. He was first team all Mountain West. He started all 13 games this year that actually led to 64 catches, 1,065 yards, and 8 touchdowns. He became Fresno State's 13th all-time 1,000-yard receiver and the first they've had since 2022. He actually ranked number 17 in the entire FBS in receiving yards and number 23 in receiving yards per game. He's got really good speed. He's got really good production value at the position. At his pro day, he put on one of the fastest 40-yard dash performances ever witnessed in Jim Sweeney Field, according to some beat writers for the Bulldogs. Only 9 total athletes and 4 receivers were faster at this year's NFL Combine. He also posted a 4.13 in the shuttle and a 38.5-inch vertical. So I think this kid's got all the intangibles to get down the field because the Chiefs want to push the ball down the field. Now, is he going to be somebody who's going to come in and win the job? Most likely not, but it's somebody that we're going to see during camp have a shot of getting in there and making some noise and maybe pushing a guy like Sky Moore off the roster.
Yeah, so Brett Veach definitely got some intriguing picks and some exciting picks for Chiefs Kingdom to talk about. Now we'll pass it off to you guys. Get down in the comments and let us know who your favorite draft picks were. Maybe what you even graded the draft in its entirety. Also get in the comments and let us know which one of these UDFAs is your favorite.
That's going to wrap it up for today. Thanks for watching All Chiefed Up. Be sure to like, subscribe, click that bell. We'll catch you next time. Go Chiefs.